Information and Communication Technology Skills. Session 1. Basic Computer Operations. ICT stands for Information and Communication Technology. ICT refers to all the methods, tools, concepts related to storing, recording, and sending digital information. Information can be recorded or stored in many ways, handwritten on paper, written using a typewriter, and so on. When information is stored and recorded on electronic devices, it takes on a digital form. ICT devices are tablets, smartphones, and laptops as shown in Figure 3.1. ICT skills help us to communicate, run our business, and stay connected with our family and friends. Hence, every person needs to acquire ICT skills and build them to stay updated with the latest software and applications, apps. Computer hardware and software. A computer system consists of two main parts: the hardware and the software. The physical parts that we can see and touch are called hardware. It is the machinery of a computer. These are the keyboard, monitor, CPU, etc. There is another important part, i.e., the software. Though we cannot see it, it makes the hardware work the way we want. The monitor is a physical device or the hardware. When we start a program, for example, a game, it is displayed on the monitor. This is done by the software, which displays text, images, and videos on the monitor as shown in Figure 3.2. Hardware would not be able to function without software. Mobile devices, such as smartphones and tablets, are also computer systems with hardware and software. They are simply smaller in size and can be easily carried around. The most important software in any computer is the operating system, OS. This is the software that starts working as soon as we switch on a computer. It displays the desktop on the monitor. Some of the most commonly used operating systems for laptops and desktop are Ubuntu, Microsoft Windows, and Mac OS. Mobile devices also have an operating system that helps them perform their functions. Some of the mobile operating systems are Apple iOS and Google Android, as shown in Figure 3.3. All the computer applications, such as browsers, games, office tools, etc., are also software programs that perform particular functions. Starting a computer. What is the first thing you do after you wake up in the morning? What if your father tells you to do your homework immediately? Can you do it? Normally you would do some daily activities and get ready before you start working. Similarly, when a computer is switched on, it performs some basic processes, functions before it is ready to take instructions from the user. To start a computer, press the power button on the CPU. This will start the operating system and display the Ubuntu desktop as shown in Figure 3.4 or the main screen on the monitor. Basic functions performed when a computer starts. Just as we go about our morning routine without anyone telling us what to do, a computer automatically runs a basic program called BIOS, Basic Input-Output System, as soon as it is switched on or the power button is pushed on. The BIOS first does a self-test. If the self-test shows that the system is fine, the BIOS will load the operating system. This means that the computer's operating system, for example, Ubuntu, is now ready to take user inputs. Log in and log out. Just like we keep our cupboards locked at home, we need to keep our computer locked when we are not working on it. This will ensure that no unauthorized person can see or make changes to our information without taking our permission. To make sure your computer is locked, you have login IDs and passwords. A login and password is like a key to the lock which allows you to use the computer. When you log into the computer with your login ID and password, as shown in Figure 3.5, the computer knows that you are an authorized person and allows you to work on the applications in the computer. Once you finish working, you must log out or sign out so that no one else can see your work. Shutting down a computer. You can shut down the computer in Ubuntu by clicking Systems button at the top right and then click Shut Down as shown in Figure 3.6. When you click Shut Down, the operating system will close all the applications and turn off the computer. Using the keyboard. A keyboard is an input device used to type text, numbers and commands into the computer. It is shown in Figure 3.7. Function keys. Command keys. Navigation keys. Control keys. Windows. Keys punctuation chi. Navigation keys. Numeric keypad. Figure 3.7. Parts of a keyboard. Function keys. Keys labeled from F1 to F12 are function keys. You use them to perform specific functions. Their functions differ from program to program. The function of the F1 key in most programs is to get help on that program. Some keyboards may have fewer function keys. A. Control keys. Keys, such as Control, Shift, Spacebar, Alt, Caps Lock and Tab, are special control keys that perform special functions depending on when and where they are used. B. Enter key. The label on this key can be either Enter or Return, depending on the brand of computer that you are using. You use the Enter or the Return key to move the cursor to the beginning of a new line. In some programs, it is used to send commands and to confirm a task on a computer. C. Punctuation keys. Punctuation keys include keys for punctuation marks, such as colon, smiley-faced semicolon, winking face question mark, single quotation marks, and double quotation marks. D. Navigation keys. Keys, such as the arrow keys. Home, End, Page Up, and Page Down are navigation keys. These are used to move up and down, right and left in a document. The Home and End keys move the cursor to the left, right end of a line of text, respectively. The Page Up and Page Down keys are used to move one page up and one page down, respectively. E. Command keys. Keys, such as Insert, Ins. Delete, Del, and Backspace are command keys. When the Insert key is turned on, it helps you overwrite characters to the right of the cursor. The Delete key and the Backspace key are used to remove typed text, characters and other objects on the right and left side of the cursor, respectively. F. Windows key. Pressing this key opens the Start menu. Using a mouse. A mouse, as shown in Figure 3.8, is a small device that you can use to move, select and open items on your computer screen. Let us see some of the functions that can be performed using a mouse. Different application will behave differently to the mouse actions. Here we use the File Explorer to see the effect of the mouse action. Roll over or hover. Some actions can be done by simply rolling over or hovering over an item. When you bring the mouse over a file in File Explorer, it will show the details of that file as shown in Figure 3.9. Point and click. As you move the mouse on your desk, a pointer moves correspondingly on your screen. The mouse allows you to select an item on the screen. When you click a particular file, it gets selected as shown in Figure 3.10. Drag and drop. To move an item, you need to click it, and then holding the mouse button down, move the item to a new location. After you move the item to the new location, you release the mouse button. This is called drag and drop. When you drag a file in File Explorer, You can pick it up from the present location and drop it in a new location where you release the mouse as shown in Figure 3.11. Double-click. Double-clicking means to quickly click the left mouse button twice. When we double-click on a file, it will open the file. Session 2. Performing basic file operations. Basic file operations. In any school or office, each teacher has a separate cabinet as shown in Figure 3.13 where they keep the files of different students or classes on separate shelves. Similarly, information on a computer is stored in electronic files, which can be put into separate folders. It is easier to manage the electronic files as they can be simply copied, moved, renamed, or even deleted. Figure 3.13 File Cabinet. Files and folders. All information stored in a computer is kept in files. Different types of files store different types of information. Each file is given a file name and has a file name extension that identifies the file type. The file name and file name extension are separated by a period or a dot. For example, a document, e.g., Neha, created using Notepad, a type of computer application to create simple text files, will have the extension .txt. There are other types like .doc, .xls, etc. An image file usually has an extension .jpg while a sound file usually has .mp3. A folder is a location where a group of files can be stored. Creating a file using a text editor in Ubuntu. When a student, Neha, joins a class, the teacher creates a file on the computer to store Neha's information, such as name, address, phone number, etc. Let us create a new file using a text editor in Ubuntu. To open a text editor, type editor in the search dialog box. Then double-click the text editor option as shown in Figures 3.14 and 3.15. This will open a blank document. In Windows, you can open Notepad and type in the text. Here you can add text, such as Neha Tiwari Shakti Nagar, New Delhi, 7,856,453,451 feet. To save the file, click Save. In the Save As dialog box, browse to the desktop folder, type the name as Neha, and click Save as shown in Figure 3.16. Creating a folder in Ubuntu. Folder is a location where a group of files can be stored. For example, we can create a folder where all the files for all the students can be stored. Let us create a new folder in Ubuntu. To open File Explorer in Ubuntu, click Files option on the left as shown in Figure 3.7. File Explorer opens up as shown in Figure 3.18. To create a folder. A. Choose a location where the folder has to be created, for example, desktop. B. Right-click and then choose the New Folder. C. Type the name of the folder as Demo. Ctrl+Z undo. Ctrl+C copy. Ctrl+Y redo. Ctrl+ versus paste. Ctrl+A select all. Ctrl+P print. Ctrl+X cut. Ctrl+S save. Session 3, Computer Care and Maintenance. Importance of care and maintenance of computers. Taking care of our things, whether it's our books, clothes, furniture, or gadgets, is important. Taking care of electronic devices, such as computer and mobiles, helps them to work properly. Just as we take care of our body by taking bath, brushing our teeth, and eating food every day, we need to take care of our machines. A computer is a delicate machine with a lot of moving electronic parts. We need to protect it from dust and damage. If we are careless, it will not work efficiently. Computers and mobiles are very expensive. When we take good care of them on a regular basis, we can use them for a longer time. This will help us save money as we do not need to buy new devices too often. Basic tips for taking care of devices. Here are some simple ways that you can follow to take care of your computer. Keeping a device clean. Cleaning a device, such as a computer or mobile, means to keep the screen, keyboard, and mouse clean. Keyboard. First, we should not eat anything over a keyboard. Crumbs can damage the internal parts of a keyboard. You can clean a keyboard with a soft brush as shown in Figure 3.21 to remove crumbs and dust particles. Screen. You can wipe the screen with a soft cloth to remove any finger marks. Be careful with food and drinks. Avoid eating and keeping glasses of water or cups of coffee near a computer as shown in Figure 3.22. Any liquid spilled over an electronic device can spoil it beyond repair. Handle devices carefully. Handle and move your laptop carefully and avoid dropping or banging it against a hard surface. Even a short fall can damage the screen or the hard disk and make the device useless. Using a cover for your mobile and a padded case for moving your laptop as shown in Figure 3.23 protects the device from damage. Keep the computer cool. If a computer, laptop, or mobile device gets overheated, the internal parts can be damaged. The CPU has an internal fan to keep it cool. We should make sure the fan is functioning. You can also use an external fan as shown in Figure 3.24. Avoid leaving a device in the sun or in a closed car. We should be careful when using a laptop while sitting in bed and make sure that the fan is not covered. Do not overcharge your battery. Sometimes we keep a device plugged in for charging even after it is fully charged. If we leave the device plugged in for a long time as shown in Figure 3.25, it can overheat the battery. This reduces the battery life. Always unplug the device once it is charged 100%. Always plug in devices carefully. Any device being connected to a laptop or computer such as a USB drive or headphones should be done gently. It should not be forced into the port. If you find it difficult to plug in a device, change the direction and try instead of trying to force it in. Do not run too many programs at a time. When too many programs are running at the same time as shown in Figure 3.26, the computer can become slow and even crash. If a app is not being used, it should be closed so that other programs can work smoothly. Prepare a maintenance schedule. We need to prepare a plan or a schedule for maintenance to keep the computer running in perfect condition for a long time. This can include daily maintenance. Clean up your email inbox. Download email attachments and save in proper folders. Weekly maintenance. Clean your keyboard. Clean your monitor. Dust CPU and printer. Back up your data to an external drive. Monthly maintenance. Transfer photographs to computer and delete from drive. Organize photos into folders or albums. Clean up download folder. Uninstall unused programs and apps. Run disk cleaner software. Run full system virus scan. Yearly, annual maintenance. Clean up contacts list on social media accounts. Clean up email contact list. Update your operating system. D. Check for expiry of antivirus software and renew. Back up your data. Backing up data means to save the information present on your computer on another device, such as CD, DVD drives as shown in Figure 3.28 or hard disk. Data can be recovered from here in case the computer stops working completely. Computers can crash, humans can make mistakes, and natural disasters, such as floods, can happen. So, it is important for companies, hospitals, banks, etc., to keep their information safe so that their business can continue to function smoothly and their customers do not face problems. Figure 3.27, Backup data on CD, DVD. Scanning and cleaning viruses. Sometimes computer viruses can enter a computer. From such attacks, we can install antivirus software. This will prevent any viruses from entering and will also clean any viruses that may enter our system before they affect the data. Increasing computer performance. If we have been using a computer for a long time, we have a lot of unnecessary files and data, such as temporary files and images. When they use too much hard disk space, the performance of the computer goes down. It is important that we keep cleaning by removing any extra files. We can use some disk cleaner software, which help us clean up the unnecessary files. Removing spam from your computer. Spam. Sometimes we get mails from companies who are advertising a product or trying to attract you to their website. Such mails are called spam. Trash. We should never respond to spam and delete it on a regular basis. It is possible to set filters in the settings to prevent spam from entering our mailbox. Most email software have a spam folder as shown in Figure 3.28 and automatically put all such emails into this folder. Session 4, Computer Security and Privacy. We store a lot of information on our computers and electronic devices. For example, we keep our photos on our mobiles. School computers store personal information regarding every student and their parents. Computers used in banks store the financial information of their clients, and computers in hospital have important information about patients. If any of this information gets lost or leaked and falls into the wrong hands, it can cause a lot of harm to the people. For example, if information stored in a bank's computer gets leaked, it can cause many people to lose a lot of money. Hence, it is essential to keep computers secure and our data safe. 10.10. Figure 3.29, Computer Security. Computer security deals with protecting computers. Computer security and privacy deals with the measures used to prevent loss of data. Reasons for security break. Security break is leakage of information stored in a computer. Personal information can be lost or leaked in two ways. 1. We are not careful in giving out personal information over the internet. For example, we share our account details and password on unsecure sites. 2. A person gets unauthorized access to our computer. This can happen in the office if we leave our computer without logging out. Figure 3.30, Security Breach. Computer security and privacy is about measures we can take to restrict access to personal data stored in a computer. Threats to computer. Threats are the ways in which personal information can be leaked from a computer without our knowing. A. Theft. Theft means stealing of information or hardware. These may be of three types. Figure 3.31, Physical stealing. Physical, where a person may steal your desktop computer or laptop. Identity, where a hacker steals your personal information and assumes your identity. Using this false identity, the hacker can gain access to your account information or perform illegal activity. Software piracy. This is stealing of software and includes using or distributing unlicensed and unauthorized copies of a computer program or software. Figure 3.32, Online stealing. B. Virus. Viruses are computer programs that can damage the data in software programs or steal the information stored on a computer. Major types of viruses are worms and Trojan horse. Worms. These are viruses that replicate themselves and spread to all files once they attack a computer. This makes it very difficult to remove them. Trojan horse. A Trojan horse disguises itself, i.e., it appears to be a useful software program, but once it reaches a computer, it starts behaving like a virus and destroying data. Online predator. Online predators are people who trap you into inappropriate relationships. They may be older people posing to be your age, bullying you into doing illegal activities online and sometimes face-to-face. Internet scams. Sometimes you may receive very attractive offers saying you have won a huge money in a lottery and that you can claim the prize by depositing a certain amount of money. When you deposit the money using credit card or online banking, you not only lose the deposit money but your card account information may be misused later. Protecting your data. To protect our data from theft and viruses, we can take the following measures. A. Use passwords to log into your computer. Use passwords that are difficult to guess. Passwords are difficult to hack if they are a mix of small, for example, ABCD, and capital letters, for example, HJER, numbers, for example, 8765, and special characters, for example. This would prevent unauthorized people from using your computer. B. Install antivirus and firewall. Antiviruses and firewall monitor the data coming in and out of a computer and prevent viruses from entering. Antiviruses can also detect and clean viruses that may have entered a computer. C. Encrypt data. This is usually done by banks and companies in which important customer information is stored. They can encrypt their entire hard disk using encrypting feature in Windows, BitLocker. This would force users to use a decryption password, or key, before starting the computer, thus preventing unauthorized usage. D. Secure sites. Give details of your credit card or bank account only on secure sites. See in the address bar of the browser. If the site address starts with https:// and a lock symbol, then it is safe to give your credit card and bank details.